You know what? I just realized I still have the summer air in these tires. I gotta put the winter air in, that's why it's flat. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is you're watching. Last video, we were basically just babysitting all these bins. We managed to get the baby bin full, the middle bin full, but our biggest bin here, the 55,000 bushel bin, it is not full quite yet. We ran as late as we could last night. We actually ran it until about midnight. It is still not full. I really thought it was a lot closer than that, but I guess my judgment's not quite there yet. A little more experience would help, but I am going to go ahead and check where it's at now. As like I said, we did run it until midnight, and just kind of shut everything off. Went to bed. It should be getting close to where we'll be able to finally shut all this stuff off and just fill our wet holding bin here. I didn't even take that many flights, and I'm already out of breath. I am that out of shape. Nobody told me getting married and having kids was like adding 30 years to your life. Anyway, we will have to get this 500 bushel out of the dryer at some point. That's why we usually leave our biggest bin for last, because there's usually enough room in here that we can kind of just squeeze it in after we get it full. So we still got to empty that, and then once we get everything emptied and this mess kind of cleaned up, we'll go ahead and fill this wet holding bin. This holds 8,000 bushel. And then after that, everything else just has to go to town. Last night we got that 70 acre field down to, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 acres left. Once we finish that, that is our last field on this side of the river. And then we got to head across the river, south quite a ways, about an hour. And we just got 60 acres left there. So we're almost done with harvest, and then we can start putting our strips down, man. I've been antsy about tillage, I tell you. Anyway, I really do need to check here. Yeah. See, the spreader is piling a little too high on that end. I really kind of need to get it just shut off and try and get it down over onto this side. Problem is, when I shut it off, it doesn't throw it over far enough, so it kind of just piles up towards the center. But that's kind of what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to go ahead and start everything now, the dryers and the air system and all that, and get it running into this bin. And then I've got the Kenworth running now. I was going to empty it last night, and it was kind of I'm just going to take it to town in the morning because I need fuel anyway. And we also need to take some to town because we're not going to be able to store it all. So I figured I may as well just leave it on the truck. I can take it over in the morning, get fuel. Makes sense to me. Maybe it's a bad plan. I guess we'll find out. So the way I get that spreader moved is I'm going to first turn it off. I don't think it was shut off last night. Ooh. Which is a good way to burn them up. And I take this rod because I can't reach it with my hand, and I walk up the bin again and move it. And right now I'm just realizing that I should have shut it off and brought the pole with me when I checked the bin, because now I got to walk up these stairs again. And I just got done telling you how out of shape I am. I think I need to move it back towards me. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good there. Got it pointing out towards this left side here, towards this side where it was low. Just absolutely covered my camera in all this white crap. Okay, that should all be set. Go ahead and start the dryers and the air system. But basically what we got going on is a wet holding bin. This is where all our wet corn comes straight from the field. It gets put into this bin, coming out into this boot. It'll come through this auger, get put into the dryer, and the dryer's got a little metering system running out in the bottom. It's basically just an arm that kind of sweeps along, and you can see the corn in the sidewalls here. It kind of just moves around, taking corn out of each section as it's going and moving it towards the center, and then it drops down through the center, runs through the bottom, out over into the boot. It'll take it up, drop it straight into the air system. This is basically just a giant blower with air, and it just shoots it out, and we can switch between each 3 of the bins. And right now I've got it running to the biggest bin, so it'll just shoot that corn out into the bin. It's really quite a simple process, but when everything's working. Looks a little flat to me, but I can't tell because it does have quite a bit of weight on it. I'm right here, I can always check before I leave the farm. It's always a good idea. Well, I suppose I'll run this over to the shop and yeah, check that tire quick. I usually keep a tire pressure gauge in here so that I can check if I'm ever on the road or something, but I think I may have accidentally put it back in the shop. Oh, you know what? I just realized I still have the summer air in these tires. I gotta put the winter air in, that's why it's flat. This is the one I usually keep in the truck with me. Probably when I was servicing the truck, I just pulled it out and was using it and then put things away in the shop. I wish these just had the caps on them where you can just stick the gauge on it and not have to actually pull the cap off. I think this is the only one that has a cap. The rest of them are that way. I hope I just didn't have it seated. Nope, I'd say it's totally flat. We've got 14 PSI. Why are you flat? What happened? Where is the flat? Let's get some air in it. Let's see if we can find anything. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna go on there, so I brought this in case. So I'll be here for a while. Well, we've got about 65 PSI in there now. Let's see if we can find where that hole's at. What is that? Is that a bolt? I think I found our problem. Oh no. Yeah, I found the air leak. Apparently those just must be a part of the tire. It was just kind of concerning. It looked too uniform, but it was a hole nonetheless. But yeah, that is definitely an air leak. It's a pretty big one too. I have a load on the trailer. I guess we can just jack it up. It is the outside one, thankfully. Take that off. Dad did inform me that we do have the fronts off of the baby truck, the old fronts, rim and all, and that fits that Wilson trailer. So I'm actually just gonna jack it up, take it off, and just put that front where that tire is, and not even fix it right now, because he also said that we don't have anything to plug that tire, so we can't really fix it anyway. So that's the plan. Jack it up, get it off of there, and yeah, put the spare on. Check. Oh, look at that. It will fit. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a bolt in it. That's for American. I don't know. Might be worth keeping though. We did just have these off for this hub. Boy, that didn't want to come off. going too high.
You are.
Okay.
Oop,
Oh, there.
that's
That's.
too far, I think.
Oh, you're about perfect. I think the bottle jack settled, or it's because I got too much air in this tire,
No,
or a lot more air. Let's put it that way.
no, well, maybe.
Yeah, I think I need to lift it a little. About there. Because I keep the weight here.
I've never seen a 1 inch
That wasn't here? I know, but I wish it was a trigger inside, so I could grip it better. I don't know. It's always accidentally hit it.
I'm not gonna. I can't plug, and I don't know if they can either.
I thought you could plug those pretty easily.
Well, you might be able to, but I.
Unless that bolt's a lot bigger than I think.
Well, it's at least 5/16, I would say,
Yeah.
or 8 mil.
I seen this and I thought, well, what the heck? There's like a perfect hole in that thing, but then I was like, no, that's almost too perfect. And so I sprayed it and then was like, oh, there's a bolt there.
Well, those aren't very old, so I hope they can plug it.
Yeah.
They should be.
No, yeah, those are only what, 2 years old, if that?
Yeah. Since it's a trailer tire, I think we'll be all right.
Well, that's what I was
I
saying.
wouldn't plug a front.
No, I think it's illegal to plug a
I
front.
wouldn't.
Yeah, but a trailer tire, I think you can plug.
Yeah.
If you can recap a trailer tire, I know you can plug it. Well, with Dad having the spare off of the baby truck, that helped immensely. Saved a lot of time. He literally he had aluminum tires or aluminum rims put on the baby truck to match the trailer so that it looked better. Because of that, we have those spares. And that is it's almost out of date actually, which I don't know if it still matters on trailer tires, but it was dated 2013, and it's 2023, so I think they last about 10 years when you're supposed to change them. We're still in the clear, so that works. And it's just a spare at the time anyway. It's not like it's, going to be permanently on there. It looks like garbage. Not that, this truck looks amazing by any means. We've tried acid washing and all that good stuff and shining it up, and it's just, we don't have a wash bay for one, so I can't keep it clean in the winter hardly. That's usually when it gets dirtiest. I'm also not sitting in line all the time to where I can just get out and polish it. Most of the time anyway. There are times where I could be doing that, but it's a work truck. It's not one of those pretty Peterbilt square bodies that everybody loves to look at with the stacks coming out the back and smoke flying down the road. It's a Kenworth. It's a neon yellow Kenworth T800. So if you want it to look nice for the videos, you're more than welcome to come out and wash it. Completely off topic, I am finally headed to town. I'm gonna get these, I almost had these beans dumped. I'm gonna get this corn dumped, go get fuel, and then we're gonna start picking some corn again. I'm almost getting tired of saying that, but we're almost done, so I won't complain. It's time to be done with harvest. This is kind of an odd elevator. It's kind of outside of town and tucked way back. It's got a long winding road all the way back to the river. I will say though, it's a lot better for when the trucks are lined up. The Cargill in town here, they are constantly getting yelled at by the city, I feel like, because we've got to line up all over the road. These guys have got a long lane, but they're just kind of tucked back off of the river, and they have troubles with barges and stuff, I imagine, being able to get to them, especially once the river's low, it gets a little lower. Here's ADM's grain facility. Fueling. You hear that? It's my door. Isn't that rolled up all the way? The wind is just hitting something just right. My gosh, that is obnoxious. I never want to hear that sound again. Do you guys have any fuel stations around you that cap the amount of fuel you can do if you pay by card? The fuel station we have here closest by, I can literally just pull in and just start fueling. Don't have to do anything. I just pump as much as I want and then go in and pay. Wonderful. Love that. But if I go to like a Casey's and I put my card in, because I don't want to go inside because there's a line of 25 people, it's limited to like $125, and then you got to start over. You got to put your credit card back in. Why? You know, if it was limited to like $225 or $250 or something like that, you know, totally understandable. I wouldn't complain. But $125, it might be $150. But I mean, I can't even. That's nothing. I gotta fuel 2 or 3 times sometimes, and it's just, what is the point? I may as well go in, prepay, try and guess how many gallons I need, and then I come out, fuel, I did way too much, then I gotta go back in to get my other receipt. It's just, I don't get it. I'd say we're definitely over halfway. Definitely. We might have 30 acres left, 25 acres or so. Is this the first time we've been here when it's daylight? I'm just saying, that's why I never noticed until now. But I was gonna say, every time we've been here, it's been just pitch black out. Anybody else just totally disappointed at the way that sounds? It's just so quiet. I mean, it's nice for in the cab, obviously, but it's so quiet. Like this tractor is louder than that combine. Even while the combine is running through the field with the separator on and everything, it is still quieter than this tractor. I feel like it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's a good thing for the cab. The person in the cab. The cab is insanely quiet on that thing. I will say that, but it's just, I don't know. It's a big piece of equipment. It's supposed to be loud and have smoke coming out of it and all this stuff, but all the EPA ruined that. Now, before I take off out of here, I'm going to untarp the cart for the first time. I always forget to untarp it, and then I swing under the auger, and he's got to stop immediately and let me know that I forgot to untarp it. We do have some weight on this cart already, so it won't be long and I'll be full. But yeah, I just realized that this is the first time seeing this field in the daylight. It gets dark by 5:30 now, and we moved over here late the one day and got started, and then we had to babysit those bins until later in the afternoon, and it was probably 5:30, 6 o'clock by the time we got here again, so maybe 7. So it's been dark the whole time, so we really couldn't see what we were doing at all. So it's nice to finally be picking this corn in the daylight. You can see a lot better, and we've got some patches back behind the houses here. There's I don't know, maybe 8 acres or so, I think is what it is, and it's not very fun to do in the dark. So he's finally going to get those after this load. He wants to get me back to the bin as soon as possible, which is understandable. I need to check that badly. And then he's going to go ahead and work on the patches. This is not a very high yielding farm normally. And this year, with it being so dry in the spring, I really thought this stuff was going to be down, or just not look as good as it does. But I do think we strip till this farm. We have been for a few years now. I do think that's helped immensely, especially with like droughts like that, like we had in the spring. One, the root system on this corn is absolutely insane. And the strength of the stalks is ridiculous. Because it was so dry in the spring, it just rooted down and tried to get as big as possible so that it could stay alive. And but I just, I don't know, it looked rough all year kind of, but I think the strip till kind of held some moisture in the ground and really just helped it out. Running like 5 miles an hour. Didn't quite get me a truckload, but I'm gonna go ahead and just run up to the truck and dump it anyways, because I'm right here. There's no sense in dragging 52,000 pounds across the field. He's been kind of hitting streaks of really good rows where, like this last time, all he did, that last load we went down and he made it all the way back past the waterway before he had to dump, and this time he made it down to the end and it was full. So I don't know. I don't know what we did different. I thought maybe the fungicide from the airplane overlapped or something, and maybe it just was that much better. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't think we did anything different. Maybe he was saying maybe the zinc from the planter, maybe he added it in late. So if you've watched my other videos, I may have caught it on camera, but he always shuts the spout off for a waterway here, so that I can pull away from him. The reason I do that is because you never know if it's going to dip down far enough to hit the cart like it is now. So you always just take that cautiously, because the last guy that owned this combine, I would say definitely hit the cart, because the spout at the end is split there. So he had to have hit the cart on accident. Well, it's time to check the bin again. Well, he's getting the patches out. I caught him just right to where I can get the tractor over to him. He doesn't have to pull through all this stuff, and he can keep right on rolling. I actually only had about 27,000 pounds for the semi when I got back, so. I just want to note to everybody that was not me. That was actually Dad. He overshot the cart with the combine, okay? I had nothing to do with the corn on the ground up here. Look, he's even got it on the back of the tractor. I mean, gosh, the deer on this road are just terrible. I mean, look at them all. I'm gonna get old walking up and down this thing. I'd say I've got it up on the roof on the one side. I should probably check to make sure that there's no corn on the ground on the backside of this bin, because I did see some here, and I think that was just, I don't know if that was coming out of the side, or I would say it was coming out of the sides from the spreader. I'd say I hit it about perfect as far as how full we want it, because I really don't have much corn on the ground. But yeah, it's right where the peak meets the side of the bin, it was spilling out of there. Huh. Well, it looks pretty clean the rest of the way. That ain't bad. I'd say I hit it just about perfect. Finally, I think we're done messing with bins. I feel like this is just becoming a sunset review channel. This one's pretty good. Say it's like a 6 out of 10. Okay, my goodness, it seems like this field took forever, but I gotta remember that the last 2 days that we've been here have just been kind of the evenings. We haven't been getting here at a decent time, and we're finally done though. And yes, it's pitch black out, but you gotta remember it gets dark at about 5:30. Okay, baby truck is tarped. Dad has got the corn head off of the combine, as you can see. He went ahead and just got it off. We can't really take it down the road where we're going. It's such a far drive that there's a lot of cars, and the road is pretty narrow the whole way there. It's very windy. Nobody can really pass. It kind of sucks. But let's get the heck out of here. All right. Well, I'll see you in about probably at least 45 minutes. Ooh, boy, this is a little rough. Dad can't stand it in the cab because the tires are hopping so bad. We're getting LSWs on the combine next year, just to stop the hop. He literally, like if it does nothing else, which LSWs we absolutely love. We like them better than tracks. And that combine weighs a lot. Those LSWs will help with compaction, but just driving down the road, he won't have such a hop. It's bouncing when he gets up to speed, and then it just keeps getting gradually worse. So I got to run about 21.5 mile an hour instead of 25, which is going to make us take longer to get there. But as long as he can stand it in the cab, that's all that matters, because we can't have that.
Marshall County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, yeah, I was wondering if I could get an escort over the bridge. Basically, all that's going to happen is we're going to sit here at the bottom of this bridge, and we're going to wait for a cop to show up or pull up right next to me and probably show me a finger. Not the middle finger, but well, maybe he'll just put his finger up, indicating that, okay, as soon as he tops the bridge, I'll count down a minute, and then I'm good to head out. He should have traffic stopped on the other side. Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks so much. Clear as a bell?
Yep, got to go.
All right, perfect. Okay, yeah, I had to get on the phone with Dad there because he was obviously parked behind me, and I couldn't see if there was any cars coming, so. Well, that wasn't so bad. We're almost here. This is a rough train crossing here. And not only that, but it's a sketchy one because these trains come through here about 100 miles an hour. Oh, goodness gracious. Basically just across this. And the field is up here on our left. Yeah, should I pull off into this CRP here? We really don't have any room anywhere. Well, that wasn't so bad. The traffic was not near as bad as it normally is. All right, well, that's going to be it for me today. This is our last 60 acres of corn. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.